Good morning, guys. Welcome. So happy that you're here today. My name is Dr. Allen, and I had a person ask me over the weekend, what is a great breath or a few different breathing practices that could help them prepare for a marathon that they're running? And so I wanted to record here a couple of breaths that I shared with them. First of all, if you're running a marathon, you're training for it. I know that you'll be training with a recommended training program. But while you're running, whether it's during your practice races or your big run, you want to run while breathing through your nose primarily. So if you can run in nose, out nose, depending on your pace, you just take as long and deep of breaths, or you breathe rhythmically with the pattern of your feet so that you are using the most oxygen, getting the most oxygen into the brain. Okay, cut, take two. Hey guys, this is Dr. Allen. I'm so happy that you're here to learn a little bit more breath work. Breath work is one of my favorite topics to teach on. And today I'm going to share with you two different breathing practices that a friend asked if I could recommend what to do to help them train for a marathon that they're running in a few months. And so I'm going to share two breaths that are not only great for lung capacity for athletes, but also I have a senior citizen aged student who's been practicing with me since COVID times, the pandemic. And these two breaths have helped her incredibly with long COVID symptoms, which kind of attacks the lungs. And the interesting thing for all of us, whether you were impacted by long COVID, whether you're an athlete or not, as we age, our lungs and our rib cage tend to shrink and get tighter. And what that does is it makes our breath get smaller and shallower while it stays in the lung and the chest area. So most people are breathing really small, little, unproductive breaths. So these two breathing practices that we're about to do are amazing for lung capacity and can help you as you age. I do highly recommend that you do these breaths every single day. So the first one, you're going to start standing up, feet together, legs strong, buttocks tight, navel held in. This is so that everything from the waist down is like a tree trunk, firm and steady foundation, so that everything above your waist can have some freedom and movement to flow. The first breath we're doing today is a breath where we will inhale deeply into the upper chest. You'll hold the breath in, and then you'll inhale more and more and more without exhaling. So before we try this breath, I do want to share with you that if you have high blood pressure, a heart condition, or glaucoma, you do not want to hold your breath for longer than about 3 seconds. So with those conditions, you'll inhale deeply, hold the breath, inhale a little bit more, hold, inhale a little bit more, hold. And then we'll all, whether it's then or a little bit later, exhale slowly with control out through the nose. So let's go ahead and try it. I'll guide you through it and then I'll practice it with you. So first breath. Strong legs, buttocks tight, navel in. Deep breath into the upper chest and back. Fill up all the way, don't save any room. Hold the breath. Eyes are open, fingers are relaxed. Inhale a little bit more. Keep the breath held in. Inhale a little more. With those conditions I mentioned, you'll exhale slowly through your nose now, but if you can, try a little more. Hold. Strong legs, eyes still open. Inhale more. And a little bit more. And now through your nose, slowly control your exhale. Nice job. Okay, relax for a moment, breathe naturally. So we just did a 45-second long breath cycle. We inhaled, we held the breath in, We sipped in more and more and more, and then we exhaled and completed that in 45 seconds. Our goal with this breath is to try for a full 1 minute long breath. So brace, strong legs, buttocks, and belly. Eyes open, relax your fingers, keep them a little separated by your sides. And here we go. Deep breath into the upper chest and back. Hold the breath. Eyes open. Inhale more. A little bit more. Inhale more. Now, at any point, if you feel lightheaded or tingly or dizzy, or you get cold and sweaty at the same time, that means it's time for you to exhale. Everyone else, inhale more. And you may not be amazing at this breath day one. Inhale more. You might need to practice it for a few months to be able to go anywhere near this long. Inhale more. Good. We're trying for a 1 minute breath for this. Inhale more. Now you're going to slowly exhale out through the nose. Control it. If you need to, separate your feet once you're done breathing out and shift back into a natural breath. So that was 1 minute long. Now, for you, you might not have done any breath work in your lifetime. You might have shallow breathing at this time in your life, and you might be able to do a 15-second long breath cycle. And I'm telling you, that's perfect. Keep practicing. Every time you practice, see if you can hold for 1 second longer. See if you can sip in one more breath after a few weeks. See if after doing it for a couple of months, you can increase by 1 or 2 more sips of breath in. And before you know it, if you keep practicing regularly, you will increase your breath capacity. And it's not a race. It's not like you have to do a 1 minute breath. That's just an incredibly healing thing to do because it slows your breath down so much. All right, let's try one more round. Here we go. Inhale deeply to the upper chest and back. Remember, your eyes are open, fingers are relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. Inhale a little more. Strong legs. Inhale more. You're squeezing your buttocks tight. Inhale a little more. Navel is held in. Inhale more. And just go at your pace for the last 30 seconds. If you have those conditions, you've already stopped and you're relaxing now. If it feels like too much, you stop and relax. Otherwise, keep going. Slowly exhale nose. Amazing. Feel free to move around, separate your feet, shake it out. How you doing? You doing all right? Good. Okay, so remember, take your time to build up. You will build breath capacity. I promise you. I did not like this breath the first time I did it. I had a very hard time, even though I was a yogi, and I had run many marathons, but it took me a while to be able to stretch the walls of the lungs and activate their plasticity. And now, by God's grace, I have nice, strong, healthy lungs. Okay, next one is to create flexibility. So that last exercise increases the size of the lungs, stretches the walls, and increases breath and lung capacity. This next one is to create flexibility in the lungs and in the rib cage in the chest. So same position, legs are going to be strong, straight, and together. Buttocks are tight, navel is held in. We'll still focus on breathing through the nose and in that upper chest and upper back area. This time it'll be a rhythmic breath. We call it pranic breath. You're going to inhale for a 3 count and exhale for 2. So it will go in, out, out. In, out, out. In, out, out. All through the nose. All right, let's go ahead and try this. Relax your fingers, eyes open, look straight ahead, embrace. Here we go. Breathing into 3, out 2. In, two, three, out, two. In the nose. One, two, three, out nose. Into the nose, out nose. Breathe into the chest, exhale. Inhale, exhale. In, two, three, out, two. In, two, three, out, two. Good. Deep breath in, push it out. Deep breath in, push it out. In, two, three, out, two. In, two, three, out, two. Nice. Last, one, two, three, out, two. Now inhale deeply. Hold the breath in, squeeze the rectum and the pelvic floor to ground yourself. Close your eyes and press the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Exhale nose, separate your feet if you need to, and relax. Breathe naturally. You might feel like moving around a little or shaking it out a little bit after that one. We're going to do 2 more rounds of this breath. You might choose to put one hand on the low belly and one hand on the chest so that you can feel your chest moving and keep your navel hugging in. So you're not belly breathing and expanding upper torso and lower torso. We're just focusing on the upper part. So think about chest and back and even breathing under the armpits. All right, so relax your shoulders, stand up nice and tall. Ready? Breathing through the nose. Here we go. In, two, three, out, two. Deep breath in, push it out. Good. In, two, three, out, two. Deep breath in, push it out. Deep breath in, push it out through the nose. Again, you will stop when you need to with this breath, but you don't have to stop early with those conditions I mentioned in the last one. Take a deep breath in through the nose, hold the breath in, activate root lock, rectum, perineum, pelvic floor, close the eyes, tip of the tongue pressing on the roof of the mouth. Release your hands and exhale all the breath out and relax. You're welcome to just stay still and feel the prana, life force energy that you just built in your body and in your electromagnetic field around you. Feel it strengthened and brightened and pulsing and tingling and moving in your body. You also are welcome to separate your feet and relax, crouch down, or take a little rest. Sip some water if you feel lightheaded or dizzy between rounds with each of these exercises. And we're doing 3 rounds of each, which is what I do recommend each morning or any time of day that you can get it done. Strong legs, buttocks tight, navel in, ready for our last round. Here we go. In, two, three, out, two. In through the nose, out nose. Deep breath in, exhale. Good. In, two, three, exhale. In, out. Deep breaths. Think about stretching your lungs in all 3 dimensions. So we're going out and in, front and back, up and down on the diagonals as well. Our lungs are 3-dimensional and you want to be stretching them in all directions. Now I know my shoulders go up when I breathe in deeply, but you're not trying to lift them. They might move. Last 4 and 3 and 2. Last breath in and out. Now inhale deeply, hold the breath in. Engage root lock, close the eyes, press the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Exhale and relax. Nice work, just rest. Shake it out if you need to, move it around. And then I'm going to do 1 round of each of the 2 breaths without cueing you at all. Feet are together, strong legs, buttocks tight, navel in. All right, and now the second breath, I'm just going to practice it and you can join me. Great job, everyone. Thank you so much for trying these two amazing breaths out. I hope that you come back to this practice over and over and over again so that you can learn how to do them and practice them every single day. I wish you a beautiful, beautiful breath and a gorgeous day. We'll see you soon.